We keep asking ourselves, will they change? But deep down, we already know the answer. And that hope slowly becomes a life sentence. I have literally spent my whole life wondering if I could do better, but never really doing it. I was resistant to personal change all along, hoping for others to just magically change to do better and suit my needs. That passive approach in, friendships or relationships or any kind of stuff and jobs. And that's why I stayed in environments that drained me to my core, even after they clearly showed me they were perfectly fine being exactly who and how they were. And surprisingly, I was perfectly fine with that too, which is, a deeply human thing, that pull towards what might be, being in that hope all the time. But who are we really blaming at last? Who was I blaming? We hold on to this idea of how good things could be if only that person or situation would just, shift a little bit, grow or change according to ourselves. We fall in love with the idealized version of them, the one we imagined, falling into that trap of, romanticizing somebody and glorifying the situation. And in doing that, we neglect our own potential. We put our growth on pause, pushing them to become that idealized version, acting like Bob the Builder. It's a double edged sword. We waste energy trying to fix something that isn't ours to fix, like a project, and our own growth gets sidelined, gets put on the back burner. Our own foundation crumbles, and we are worrying about someone else's. So I think it connects to our own discomfort. It's just a way to avoid the uneasiness of the hard work of improvement of self, the discomfort of choosing better for yourself. It's often psychologically easier to see hope in someone else out there than to face the discomfort of growing. We start to maybe projecting or just avoiding the mirror. Could be both. By avoiding choosing better and hence projecting our hopes on someone to perform better when they clearly showed they can't. They showed that to us all along, but we just do not see that. And subconsciously avoiding to see which unhealthy pattern of ours is being shown to us. And we are avoiding that also. And I'm not saying like everything is black and white. Seeing potential is not always bad. There are situations where things may go wrong, but that does not automatically make someone a bad person or a bad situation. Life happens, and sometimes people are doing the best they can with what they have at the moment. And that potential we see, it's real, it's like they do have it, but that alone is not enough. So here's the difference. Some people see their own potential and actively work towards it. There is a clear line drawn between someone who, takes accountability, who reflects on things, who tries to grow and shows up even when they fumble, for themselves and for you. And that kind of effort is not something you have to drag out of them. It is naturally visible even in small ways. Versus those situations where you are the only one holding the vision of them being a certain way. You are the one hoping, waiting, doing the work for them, for two people. And that's when it becomes a trap. That's when the warning signs should start flashing. So, these are some absolute signs that you are chasing potential that you subconsciously know, but you're not acting on them. So, the first sign is making excuses, overlooking repeated patterns. You tell yourself they are just going through a lot or they didn't mean it that way. You overlook patterns because you still believe they will change and grow. This relationship feels better in your head than in reality. It's like an emotional waiting room where you have to wait just all the time stuck in limbo. Second sign is being strung along, getting just enough crumbs to make you think that the meal is coming. It's on its way. Someone who shows interest in you at times, just enough to keep you hooked and hanging. But when you press them to hang out or have a more realistic connection with them, they are always busy. Or third sign, staying small. You have to stay small just to stay close. You lower your standards. You stop evolving, growing. You start compromising your boundaries just to maintain the connection, to keep it going. And your needs start to take a back seat almost every time. All these signs can lead to resentment, obviously, and that will make you stop from investing in things and people that are actually there for you, because we start to think everyone is like that, every situation is like that. This misdirected hope can and will carry you deeper into situations that only get heavier with time. It can creep up on you and escalate over time, and you won't even know. People carry it for years. They think it will get better once we move in together. It will change after we get married. And when that doesn't happen, they place their last card on a child. Maybe a baby will bring us closer. Maybe that will fix everything. Thinking having a child will somehow fix this hopeless dynamic, but all that does is invite someone else, a small kid, a whole new person into a dynamic that was already unstable. And there was no hope all along. And now they're growing up inside it. And you then start to see how unprocessed hope turns into inherited patterns over time. It all comes down to that foundation. If it was built on potential and not reality, then anything you build on top of it is just going to be wobbly and unstable, just like the relationship. This is not fear mongering. I have really seen many people staying caught up in the cycle of just hoping and seeing the potential because they were once given some crumbs back then and they accepted it, thinking that's all life has to offer to them. And now they look back to the moments from the past where they saw this potential early on in that situation that kept them in that hopeful cycle, and now hoping to go back and fix things. So basically, it's all hopes by then when it's too late. So I think it all boils down to this one question: are they also seeing their potential and working towards it, stepping into it? Or are you the only one holding that vision of them being a certain way? Think about your own life and your relationships. Have you ever found yourself making those excuses or feeling like you are, waiting for someone to become what you think they could be? Seeing that potential. It's about telling the difference between the genuine growth that's maybe happening slowly versus just the allure of potential that's maybe not going anywhere. It's just you holding on to that potential, and there's nothing else going on in that situation. A good place to start that reflection is thinking, what could you actually achieve? What growth could you unlock if even some of the energy you are might be spending focusing on someone else's potential was turned back to yourself, towards your own potential of choosing better for yourself, towards your own growth, and really seeing the situation for what it is, really accepting the reality of what things and where things are right now.